The Quest 3 has been out for a few days now. This is not a full-on review. I need to hang out with this thing for at least a month, maybe more. But this is early impressions. This is what it's like to be inside the headset. What are the pros? What are the cons? What's good about it? What's really baffling? And we're going to get right into it. You're watching Bringhurst VR.
Little by little you take control. It's a little uncivil how your game's in motion. And I don't even notice that I'm playing your game. Till you leave me a warning thinking I'm the one to.
Okay, thank you for being here. I am really enjoying the Meta Quest 3. There are aspects of it that are just phenomenal. I'm going to get into all of it. There are aspects of it that are, like I said, baffling, that just don't make any sense to me. Let's begin with this. What is it like wearing the headset? What is it really like? Because you know that the videos you see on YouTube that are screen captured, they don't do it justice. They can't. Well, with standalone Quest, it's a lot better than it was with the Quest 2. It's a bit better than it was with the Meta Quest Pro. And despite this increase in resolution, as far as what the displays are physically capable of producing, it's still held back a little bit. I think it was something like 60 or 70% of its potential when using standalone because it's such a demanding device. And what that means is that when you're playing, say, Pop 1 or Beat Saber or any other game, you saw in the announcement that they have retroactively upgraded certain games, such as Saints and Sinners and Red Matter 2, and the textures are better, it looks cleaner, but the resolution, while better than the Quest 2, is still held back a little bit. I say that because if you're coming from the Quest 2 standalone, you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be better. But having said that, PCVR still pulls the most out of the headset. I honestly can't play standalone anymore. I just don't do it. Even though texture wise, Beat Saber might not be any different from the Quest 2 standalone version, but the pixel density, the display that you get through PCVR is just, bar none, better in every way. I can't see the screen door effect. It is sharp as I could want. It's beautiful. It really is. PCVR on the Meta Quest 3 is stunning. Standalone gameplay on the Meta Quest 3 is less so in comparison to the PCVR aspect. And that's only because nothing to do with the developers, nothing to do with the game you're playing. As far as the resolution you're staring at, it's not producing what it can. That will be fixed. I've spoken to the guy behind the Quest Games Optimizer. He is quickly working on something so that this works on the Quest 3. And with that, at the expense of possibly with a drop to the frame rate and the targeted, say, 90 hertz on the headset, you'll be able to unlock that resolution. And so that, when it comes, I expect within the month. All this I'm saying, it won't be relevant. And so get that and this will go away. So that's my first point. Standalone Quest is not as high resolution as I would like. Another thing I had, Passthrough. Let me make sure I phrase this the right way. The first day I owned the headset, I was on the phone with Meta. I was on the phone with them with customer service, talking about sending mine in for an RMA, getting it replaced or repaired because the pass-through was so bad. It was grainy. It was barely better than the Quest Pro. The color was better, but it was unusable for AR purposes. All my lights were on. I had this ring light. I got this light right here. My room was pretty well lit, but it was just grainy. And whatever I thought it should have been, it didn't match the through the camera visuals that we got from these creators on YouTube. It didn't match what they described at Connect. And for a moment, all I could think was, Wow, Meta's handing out free headsets to creators in an attempt to get them to say that the pass-through is something that it's not. And then I opened all the windows in my house. My room is bright by itself. But to get that clarity, I was surprised. I'd seen people online saying, oh, you need more lights. I don't need more lights. What are you talking about? My room is well lit. But what they mean is I need to have the power of the friggin' sun screaming through my window, splashing across the entire room. And when that happens, oh my God, it's night and day. It literally raises the resolution of what you can see by 1,000%. It was finally perfect. I had perfect clarity. It was magic. But to get that, I had to turn on all the lights. I had to bring extra like theater style lights and prop them up on the walls. And I had to open the windows to let sun shine in, assuming it was the right time of day. Just having the windows open isn't enough. I need beams of light coming into my house. With that, it's amazing. But what happened here is these developers went to MetaConnect. They went to these isolated places where they had plenty of time to set up like professional lights coming out of the ceiling, lights all around for these developers and creators. And it was the perfect environment for a perfect experience. And they walked away saying, wow, I've never seen anything like that before. It's so crisp. And they didn't know. I don't think they knew that the experience was a bit manufactured. You can get that experience at home, but you have to work for it. And just because all the lights are on in your house does not mean that you're going to get a crisp experience. I thought that there was something wrong. I thought that like Reddit was talking about the possibility that Meta was working with different providers of cameras, and maybe 1 in 6 of us were getting a bad batch, and something like that happened with the Quest 2, if I recall. And so I thought this was a possibility, so I was going to return it. And a lot of people are going to be led astray by these high expectations. So find more light, because otherwise you're not getting what you're supposed to get. It's kind of a bummer. Next, let's talk about the field of view. They advertise 110 degrees. There was, when they were first showing this off for early adopters, for people at Connect, they were mixed. They said, oh, it's 110. It's more than the Quest 2. It looks the same as the Quest 2. And people couldn't agree on it. And I think I know why, kind of. First thing, it's completely subjective. Everyone's heads are shaped differently. The bridge of my nose is a monstrosity, whereas yours is probably normal. That's going to have an effect on the field of view. But more than that, God, this is a nightmare every time. It always sounds like it's going to break. Jesus. So this is the facial interface, okay? And if you look at this, let's see if I can get this here. Kind of out of focus, but right here, you got these buttons on both sides, and you can press it and bring it in, pull it out to get it closer to your face. Now it comes initially, at least mine did, with this interface fully retracted. So it's as close to the lens as it could possibly be, which is great. I mean, the closer to the lens, the wider field of view. However, what's happening is the bump around the lens here, it's pressing against my face in a very uncomfortable way. After even an hour of gameplay, it starts to hurt. And more than that, maybe more than that, when the lens is that close to my face, I can see the edges of the screen. So where it would be a curved thing that just disappears into my peripheral, I can see sharp, flat edges, and it's very distracting. It takes me out of the immersion. And so for the best experience, I have to use that middle notch, take it away from my face just a little bit. I lose a smidgen of FOV, but because I can't see that the edge of the screens, it's more immersive. So keep that in mind. Additionally, this foam insert, the facial interface that they send you, at a glance, you might think that this is silicone. It's not. It's a material. It's a bit abrasive. It's a bit rough. And then there's foam inside of it. So it's soft, but again, after an hour of gameplay, it starts to rub and it's a bit uncomfortable. For that reason, I've purchased, it's not here yet, but the silicone facial interface from Meta. Places like VR Cover have released and are continuing to work on and improve their own solutions to this. So I expect that's going to be something that you will want to examine and play with. Now, when I held this up, you probably noticed that I have got the Elite strap with battery on here. The original strap that it comes with is better marginally than the Quest 2, what it had, but it's still a piece of crap. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. If you want to play with another person and share this around, not only is it a pain in the butt readjusting that strap and having to figure out the sweet spot every time you want to put on the headset, but more than that, the two loops that are in the back that you can pull to better improve the headset, they're pretty rough. They were digging into the back of my head. I adjusted it many times. I played with it for 6 hours probably wearing that head strap, and it just bummed me out. Oh my God, it hurt. Like it was uncomfortable, and nothing I did fixed it. It was just plastic digging into my skull. So however you come down on that, whatever kind of a budget you have, you need to try to figure it out. Whether you do the Vive Deluxe audio strap, a Bobo VR, or the Elite head strap. For the record, I'm happy with this. It's, again, a little baffling. You can see here, it's not a great solution. I'm waiting to find clips on Etsy to fix this, but I had to hot glue that right there because otherwise this thing will just hang down and loop around my ear and get stuck, and it's just a pain in the butt. So I hot glued that with just a little dab of glue. It's temporary. The headset by itself without that head strap, I was getting about an hour, 45 minutes. That's a combination of PCVR and standalone Quest, some of which was the pass-through AR functionality. So it was a pretty thorough use of all of the use cases. With the battery, I tend to get about just over 3.5 hours of gameplay, which is not bad. I don't play for more than 3.5 hours anyway. But yeah, I do recommend the Elite strap. It's comfortable. I lament, I think maybe I've just played with the Vive Deluxe audio strap for so long that I'm used to being able to pull the headset away from the back when you're taking it off your head. It had like a spring to it, and it was comfortable. It made adjusting easy. That's not the case with this. I don't remember did the Quest Pro do that? I can't remember now. Seems like a lifetime ago. I missed that spring that the Vive Deluxe audio strap had. This thing is just tight, clamped against your head like it's a nut. And if you want to take it off or adjust it in any way, you got to twist the knob on the back. So it's a little inconvenient, but otherwise it's comfortable. Another thing that's baffling about this headset is the removal of the second headphone jack. Prior to this, on the Quest 1, Quest 2, and Quest Pro, there were headphone jacks on both sides of the headsets, and many creators and developers made use of that when coming up with accessories, such as headphones that were separate and they could plug in on both sides. Not only did they take that from us, rendering all these other accessories a little unusable at the moment, but they also put it on the wrong side. Almost every pair of headphones that we use has got the port on the left-hand side. And so my solution now is putting it on and taking something like this and looping it around the back of my neck. It's inconvenient, and I'm waiting for Globular Cluster to update their headphones. They told me they were working on it. I should have just got the Vive Deluxe audio strap, but the truth is I've gone through so many pairs of that thing that the headphones they're so nice, but they're also so intricately made that the up-down snap feature of the headphones just keeps breaking on me, and I'm sick of dealing with it. So I'm waiting around for that. Let's talk about the controllers. This is a mixed bag. I need to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments how my experience compares to yours. I'd love to know. Let's get a conversation going because this has been pretty bizarre. Overall, playing Beat Saber on Expert Plus, that's how I go. They were great. However, look at this footage here. This is from a PCVR game, Wanderer, but I was losing tracking left and right. Like it was a problem. It's happening to me in Walkabout Mini Golf as well, where in a game that doesn't require just frantic freaking out all the time, and rather your hands are at your hips. I mean, ideally, I thought that it was supposed to be taking precedent over what's going on above your head to put a focus on what's going on around your hips to make tracking better for the average user. What's happening though is I'll be hanging my hands at my hips, and if I do it for more than 5 seconds, and this isn't behind my back, this is at my hips, my arm will just disappear and show up on the other side of the room. It won't adjust itself. I can go up and grab the arm and like hit it and hit it and hit it. And it's not until I bring my hand, my other controller, up straight in front of my headset that it actually corrects itself. This has been a problem. However, this problem hasn't begun until I added these MetaQuest 3 straps, grips. I can't imagine that they're causing the problem. They don't cover anything except for possibly the bottom. I don't know. I'm not sure where that light is. But since they're the ones who made this, I assume that they took all that into account. I'm going to have to do more testing, and I'd like to know your experience. I got to figure out if these grips are causing problems or not, because if you're not actively keeping your hands in front of you like this, I'm losing tracking constantly with these controllers, and it makes me long for the MetaQuest Pro. It's been a real bummer. Now, I imagine that these with the haptics are better than the Quest 2 by quite a bit. Coming from the Quest Pro, I miss the haptics. When playing Beat Saber, for instance, or Pop 1 and firing a gun, it's good. It's good. It feels fleshed out and full, but the punch is not what it was on the Quest Pro, and that's what I came from. That's what I've been on for the last year, and it's noticeable to me. It makes me wish that there was more of it. But all that said, as I understand it, these haptics, it's not a motor. It's a function of audio. It's like a speaker that's blowing itself out, and so that's how you get that feeling in the controller. All of that said, though, these straps, as far as comfort goes, they're good. They are about as comfortable as the VR covers I've used for a long time. They connect to the controller in a way that feels secure, and I'm generally pretty happy with it, assuming they're not contributing to my tracking issues. The dock that it comes with is good. It's really good. It's better than the Quest Pro in every way. It's not hard to put it on, and it charges reliably. For the record, my desk area is so small that to make this work, I basically hot glued it to this shelf here. Had to do it sideways so it's hanging over the edge, because any other way it just doesn't work. There's not enough room, and my desk is too cluttered. I mean, look at this thing. So that's my solution. It's a little unconventional, but I'm happy with it. You know, it works. It's really weird that they didn't give me a microfiber cloth with the headset. We've had a microfiber cloth included forever. I stopped keeping them around because one always came with the headset, and suddenly I'm in a position where my lenses are dirty, need to be cleaned, and I don't have one. So it's, again, baffling. It's baffling that they took away the jack, they put it on the other side, and it's baffling that they keep giving us that stock terrible strap. I mean, how many people are gonna buy the headset completely unfamiliar with VR? They've never owned one before. They're never gonna see this video. They've never talked to you. You've never talked them out of it. And they spend $500 on a headset. They put it on, play for a half hour, decide it hurts and it's a gimmick, and they sell it. And that's their whole VR experience because it's that uncomfortable. I mean, I could see a lot of people going down that road. How many people are going to know to go to Etsy and get a printed clips to attach some third-party headset? I mean, it's just a bummer. I'm glad that they're trying to keep costs down. It's good for the VR ecosystem and getting more headsets out there, but it's bad that it's just such a bad experience. Like, it's unusable with that stock strap for me. If you want to play for more than an hour, it takes away from the experience so much. It's so bad. Oh my God, it's so bad. Using the dock takes about 2 hours to charge this thing, which isn't terrible. For one, I found a 45 watt plug, and so your mileage may vary. I recommend that you get that 45 watt plug whether you're using the dock or just plugging it up to the headset. Sorry, I just looked at the plug that the headset came with. I had mentioned they want you to use the plug from your headset. Well, that plug that they send with the headset is 18 watts. The dock is capable of fast charging with 45 watts, but they don't provide you, even with what came with the headset, with a plug that's capable of achieving that. So you'll want to get that on your own. Hopefully you have one laying around. I'll put a link in the description in case any of you need one. Anchor makes some really good plugs. Now let's talk about AR. There's a handful of experiences out of the box. I honestly haven't done a lot with them. I've played with a couple of them, and If you light the room properly and get that high resolution I'm talking about with Passthrough, it can be a good experience. But out of the box, the scanning of your room and mapping out your walls is cool. It's fun to behold, and it can be very useful, and it's pretty fast. But it doesn't know that this is a table. It doesn't know that that's a bed, and so it's not completely intuitive. It's cool, but if you want to identify like flat surfaces or circular tables so that these creatures and characters can interact with it and you and hide behind things, you still have to draw these structures, and it's a bit of a hassle. Really, it's still a gimmick right now. For me, it's still a gimmick, which is a bummer. Because it's about the tech, it's about what the pass-through is, it's about what the AR can be, but until we have the software to support it, it's the same as the Quest 2. It just looks better. And so it's an issue of software. It will get better. A lot of this stuff, like I said before, it's all about updates. I'm positive that this issue with the lighting and getting that resolution up through pass-through, I think a lot of that can be overcome in post. I think that they can give us an update that will fix that by, I don't know, boosting the ISO or something. Additionally, you've seen a lot of footage of people using their phones in VR. Not me. I can't really do it. My phone, I keep at about 75% brightness. Maybe everyone else uses their phones at 10%, but at 75, 60% brightness, even that, it's just a white blown out mess. And that's from 2-3 feet away. The only way to actually be able to see my phone really well, or my computer, my laptop, is to either turn down the display brightness to 5 or 10%, or get within 6 inches of the display. And the problem with that is once I'm holding a phone right here, the warping begins and it becomes unusable in that way. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It's an issue of ISO, because if I stare at a ceiling light, for instance, for a long period of time and then quickly jump to my phone, I can see the phone. And then it will adjust and blow itself out to accommodate the rest of the room. It appears to be a case-by-case basis. Some people can use their phones and some people can't. It's not clear to me what the issue is. I don't know. I hate to say that there are batches that are different from this and that, but it appears to be the case, at least from everything we've seen. You've seen videos of people using their phones, putting it down on the bed and walking away and still being able to see, at least make out some general colors and outlines of people that are on the device, but I can't even do that. It's just blown out white unless I get right up next to it. But all of that to say, we have a long ways to go. We need this software to back up the new tech. I think that AR can be really good. I think this headset is capable of doing a lot with its pass-through. I think that it's going to take a few updates. It might be next year that they find a way to get rid of some of that warping. Maybe they'll find an update to fix my issue of the phone being blown out. I'm sure down the line they'll find a way to unlock more power in that chipset so that we can get more of the resolution that the displays are capable of providing. And again, until then, the Quest Games Optimizer is a fine solution. It should release shortly. The audio that pipes out of the headset is really good. It's really good. It's miles ahead of what the Quest 2 and Quest Pro were capable of doing. The surround sound functionality, that spatial audio that they give you, is really good. It's very loud. In fact, it's louder than my headphones. If I put on my headphones after listening to something, I'm a little disappointed that my headphones aren't louder, but there's so much bleed. If you use that anywhere, you're going to be drawing attention. People downstairs will ask you to turn it down. It's very loud, but it's very good. The lenses are beautiful. The sweet spot is the entire lens. It's all very clear. Again, my gripe is just the software limitations. It's really just that they're not giving us that full display capability. It's kind of holding it back. And so that's why I stick to PCVR. In fact, I don't think I'm going to spend any money on the Quest Store. I spent it on the Piano Vision. Is really cool and it works really well. That was a good standalone AR experience that I had. And that was really cool. It was really fun for my son. It was fun for me. But again, those experiences are few and far between. And I only have 128 gigs on my headset. And I did that on purpose. I did that because I knew I was going to be PCVR mostly. I don't need the space except for things like virtual desktop and a small number of standalone apps. The Quest 3 claimed to nearly reinvent the wheel, better in every way. I said that in the previous video. It's better in every way, and it is, but you won't know it until we have the software and the games and the services to back it up. And so that is its limitation right now. Great lenses, great displays, great audio, and decent accessories out of the door, but just no experiences to really make full use of it. It's so beautiful in PCVR. I mean, PCVR always looks good. Okay, all right, but the clarity and the just zero screen door effect, it's something to behold. It's really cool. What I'm about to say, I need to preface with this. It's completely understandable that some people just can't find the funds to upgrade to PCVR. And if money's tight, then you shouldn't bother, okay? You shouldn't. But if you have a few pennies to pinch, if you can find a way to make it happen, you can get a gaming PC on Newegg, a pre-built machine, which I know there's going to be a section of the community that's outraged over that, but it's upgradable. You can upgrade it down the line. You can get a Core i7 with an RTX 2060, which is more than enough for VR, for as low as $600 or $700. Granted, you do that, you're basically buying 2 Quest 2s. And in the long run, you're going to save money by buying things on Steam VR rather than the Quest store. I think that it's, with the sales they have, with their, it's a better experience, better games. Half-Life Alyx, people. So again, I'm not advocating for you to go out and get a loan and buy a computer. What I'm saying is that you should keep an eye on it. You should make it a goal, because standalone VR is fine. It's an entry-level thing, but the Quest 3 is so capable of PCVR, and you don't even need a cable. You can use virtual desktop, and it's a seamless experience, and I really recommend it. If you guys are curious, if you really want me to dive more into that, I'd be happy to make another video talking about what you're looking for in a computer if you decide to go that route, and what peripherals you need, what GPU do you want, and all that. So it's just something to think about. So how is the Meta Quest 3? How does it hold up? And do you need all of these accessories that I have? In short, it's an amazing headset. It's, in my opinion, the best headset they've made so far. It's better than the Quest Pro, though I miss aspects of the Quest Pro. It's better than the Quest 2 in every way, aside from the price bracket, I suppose. It's just a great headset. The visual clarity is to die for. And like I said before, unlocking that extra resolution with the Quest Games Optimizer is going to be enormous. I'll make a video again about that when he updates it for the Quest 3. I just wish more of this stuff came stock for a better experience. And I want to know what you guys think. Did you buy the Quest 3? Are you enjoying it? What are you playing with it? And have you tried PCVR? How does it compare to standalone in your opinion? Let me know in the comments. I have a Patreon account. Much thanks to Ortiz. He got this video a full day in advance. He's also been entered to win a Quest 3 giveaway I'm doing when I hit 2,000 subscribers. He's also hanging out with me for a movie in VR, which we do once a month. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe, like this video. Tell me in the comments what you really think. And you guys have a great day.
Little by little, you take control.